The multiple clashes between a caravan of migrants and Mexican troops this week illustrates how serious Mexico is about blocking US-bound migration, and the country's efforts are paying off. The Trump administration, which threatened Mexico with tariffs last June, now commends Mexico for maintaining the integrity of their border. But how exactly is Mexico's crackdown playing out, and at what cost?
They've really militarized the border, and the National Guard are basically a military force that are doing what should be, civil police work right now.
Mexico arrested nearly twice as many migrants in 2019 than in 2017 and increased deportations by 40% during the same period. That's according to a new analysis of Mexican government data. The country has deployed thousands of troops to the border and at various immigration checkpoints. It also stopped giving migrants transit visas and started giving them a choice instead: agree to be deported or apply for asylum in Mexico. But advocates for migrants say the country's asylum agency is so severely underfunded that it's inevitably violating its own asylum laws.
The official stance is they're just trying to abide by their own laws and the international treaties to which they're party to. But if you look at what's going on the ground, there's a lot of people being returned to countries that they are going to face persecution in.
The number of Mexican asylum applications nearly doubled between 2018 and 2019. Meanwhile, government funding for the asylum agency has actually decreased. Migrants who decide to take a shot at Mexican protections are stuck in the country's poor southern area until the resolution of their cases months later. Advocates say the migrants in limbo struggle to survive, despite Mexico's promise of job offers and cash-based assistance from the UN for the first couple months.
Chiapas, which is the main door for refugees to enter this country, it's the poorest state in Mexico, and there are not enough jobs. People can very roughly survive here.
American groups in favor of stricter immigration say Mexico's tightened enforcement will eventually force migrants without legitimate asylum claims to stay home. They say that will relieve pressure on both American and Mexican governments.
The Mexican response has to do with creating an effective deterrent. They create a situation on the ground where people are coming into situations that they did not envision. Once word goes back down the grapevine to their hometowns, that people there will say, well, we're just going to wait this one out until the situation gets better, so that they won't even leave their homes.
On Wednesday, Mexican human rights groups said that Mexican officials denied them access to local detention centers. These groups have gathered accounts from past detainees about these centers being severely overcrowded, lacking health care, and providing unsafe food and water.
They have to sleep in the floor sometimes due to the overpopulation. If they are feeling sick, they are not able to see a doctor.
Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said Tuesday that migrants must respect the country's law. He added that his government is protecting migrants from smugglers and gangs by preventing them from traveling illegally in the country.